Hey everyone, this is the Tell the Truth radio show. I'm your host, Ron Fitch, and we're going to tell the truth when it comes to college football, which is back, which I'm excited. And we're going to talk about the NFL, my predictions, my breakdowns, NBA, well, Major League Baseball. But first, college football is back. Roll Tide, War Eagle. I love it. SEC football. It's awesome. I love it. We're going to break this down. Auburn is playing Kentucky. Kentucky's ranked 23rd. Auburn is ranked number 8. LSU in Alabama. They're the top 10 ranked teams are in the SEC. First, I want to start with Auburn and Kentucky because that's the two ranked teams. Auburn and Kentucky is about the quarterbacks. It's Nix versus Terry Wilson. And Nix, this is his second year. He's highly recruited, much ballyhooed, had a really good first freshman year. He's looking to be Cam Newton-ish. I don't know if he's going to be Cam, but a lot of great slick quarterbacks that Gus Malzahn has had in his arsenal. He's looking to be that guy. Auburn's lost their front line to graduation. Auburn's Auburn. SEC defenses, they just recruit. So it's going to be freshman kids. You know how that is. But Kentucky has a chance. It's at Jordan Hare Stadium. There's going to be 7. I'm glad there's fans for college football. I'm glad they take the chance, let the fans come there. It's going to be college fans. You're going to hear them. It's going to be 17,000, but you're going to hear college fans. They're going to make noise, which is good. You don't have to even pipe the noise in. Auburn should win. They're home. I would not be surprised if Kentucky pulled off the upset. They got 3 really good running backs. Stoops is going to keep it close by running. Terry Wilson's a running quarterback that can throw a little bit. If he throws just enough, they got a chance. Nix, if you see Auburn, and I know something about Auburn and any Gus Malzahn coach team, if you see them in rhythm, they're like the LA Rams. They have to get into a certain type of a rhythm where they're moving the ball, they're running and they're passing and they're play calling, and it's really fast and it's quick and it's smooth and you get in the end zone, you score. When they're playing at that pace, that's when they're playing at their best. And that's when Gus Malzahn dials it up. When they don't, that's when there's problems and they've had losses. This is the year Auburn's got to make it happen. They got they're going to have home games with Georgia. They're going to have to go. No, actually, yeah. No, they have the home game against LSU, but they have to go on the road with Georgia and Alabama. So they got to make it happen this year. The Alabama plays Missouri. Alabama, I tell you what, they lost players at graduation, but they're really, really, they have, to me, the best route running receivers in America. I love Devonta Smith. He's still there. Jalen Waddle. They're the best route runners to go along with what the quarterback position and what Mac Jones, what he's going to do. I think Mac Jones is going to have a really good year. Dylan Moses is back. He had an ACL tear. Patrick Surtain at corner. They're loaded. Alabama's ready to try to win another national championship for Nick Saban. But LSU's going to have a lot to say, even though LSU lost a lot of players. Some players opted out for the NFL. Some players just opted out because of the coronavirus issues. But Miles Brennan is still there, quarterback. He's filling in for some huge shoes at quarterback. And then Mike Leach is at Mississippi State because LSU plays Mississippi. And Mike Leach has swagger to him. And he's always won pretty good. He's revitalized programs, Texas Tech, Washington State. Now he's at Mississippi State. And Mississippi State could use that. They've always been second-tier type of SEC level team. He wants to come in there and change everything. They got A.J. Costello, the transfer from Stanford. So you got Costello versus Brennan. Can Mike Leach's system work against those hard-hitting, physical, quick SEC defense. This is a fascinating matchup at 3:30. And I love SEC matchups. I usually try to order food. I order pizza, and I sit there and I watch SEC football at 3:30, and then Alabama plays Missouri at 7. So it's an awesome sports week because you got the NFL games. There's going to be fans there, which I love. And then Georgia's going to be good. They lost a lot of players, but you know that Kirby Smart's going to have his team prepared. I want to see what Ole Miss is going to do because you got Lane Kiffin there. So now you got the coaches there. So it's good. The SEC West is going to be scary good with LSU, Texas A&M. Look at all the coaches in this SEC West. I feel sorry for Arkansas, But the East is going to be good because Florida is good. They got a great quarterback. They got guys returning. Florida's my sleeper team. I think Florida could come out of the East this year. I think they might get Georgia and the world's greatest cocktail. I wonder how they're going to do that, how many fans will be there. That's going to be kind of awesome. Okay. I'm glad the Pac-12 and the Big Ten decided to play. And hopefully they'll have fans. But Big Ten, they're not going to have fans. But hopefully the Pac-12 will. I'm excited about? I'm an SEC guy, but I'm going to tell you something. Oklahoma's new quarterback is really good. I'm hearing raving reports about him. Texas is ranked number 8. Texas is going to be where this is Tom Brennan's big year. Tom Herman's big year. Can they get over the hump? Texas, Oklahoma in a couple weeks is going to be really big. The Red Rivers. They may play twice in the championship game and in the regular season. Okay, now we're going to go to the NFL. The Seahawks versus the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott has run, the Legion of Boom has always had really good defense. Ezekiel Elliott has run well against the Seahawks. I expect him to have a pretty good day in Seattle again, and also receiving. Seattle's been very stout on the run, but Elliott's had their number. Dallas, with Jeremy Lamb, who's coming into his own, and Cooper, and the way they move the ball, Dallas is explosive. Russell Wilson's going to be the MVP this year with DJ Metcalf. And I want to tell you something. I always preach. I talked to this young man who aspires to be a receiver, and there's this kid, this is in high school, he's super talented, and I was talking to him about the route tree. I mean, this one kid, he lives in South Jersey, and he has very good athleticism. And I talked to him about the importance of running routes, the route tree. DJ Metcalf did not run good routes when he came out of Mississippi, Ole Miss. He just had speed. He made himself into a great route runner. DJ Metcalf is a great route. You see what he did to Stephon Gilbert last week. He's going to have another big game against the Cowboys. I think the Seattle Seahawks, even though Cowboys are a more talented team than Seattle, I like the Seahawks. Dallas is going to win. Regardless of if Dallas wins the game or not, they're going to win the division, without a doubt. I don't have a doubt in my mind that the Cowboys are going to win the division. But I will say this about the Cowboys. They're unstoppable in the red zone. With Dak, with the ability to quarterback sneak, his ability to throw to Cooper, Jeremy Lamb, and Ezekiel Elliott's one of the best at getting screen passes in the red zone and scoring. And once they get in the red zone, I mark it down at 7. When I'm writing my notes, I already write 7 on the board when they get in there. Problem is their defense was bad last week, and they should have lost to the Falcons. They're still a work in progress, but their offense is so explosive. They're so talented. They'll eventually figure it out. But I like Seattle in this game, 38-35. I could be wrong because Dallas is really good. But I like Seattle in that game because they're home. New Orleans and Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers versus Drew Brees. And Drew Brees has not been great. 3 touchdowns so far. Aaron Rodgers has 6 TDs, and he's making ungodly throws. and so far. Aaron Jones is an MVP type candidate too. This guy could run, but he can catch out of the backfield. And both Aarons are a lot. I don't know if Devontae Adams is going to play. Packers defense is a little tougher. They were soft across the board last year. They're a little tougher on defense. Michael Thomas is not going to play for New Orleans. I don't like that. The Saints are going to be a little angry. The Raiders pushed and punked the Saints last week. Pushed them around, ran on them, did whatever they wanted, moved them out, moved them off the line of scrimmage. You're going to be an angrier, more determined Saint team. Brady's going to look to try to get Saunders and Taysom Hill going. Because if you don't have Michael Thomas, you got to have another go-to guy. Saunders has got to be that guy. He came over, and he's the big free agent signing that New Orleans had, and he's got to be the guy. You know, Taysom Hill's got to get a couple catches. They got to get going. They got to get Cook going. But I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay in a close game. Green Bay's playing better. I don't like how the Saints will eventually get together. They're not in a good way right now. Drew Brees is a little off. I don't expect that to change. I think Green Bay comes out of New Orleans with a W. Close game, but a W. Now, these next two games are sneaky good. The Oakland Raiders and New England Patriots. The Raiders, Oakland Raiders, my gosh, I can't say enough nice stuff about Gruden. And you know what Gruden did? Gruden said, you know what? I understand we got all these high-tech passing offenses and this 2020 and the spread offense. I'm going old school power run in your face football, and I'm gonna really put it on you and make it a rough game. Jacobs and Waller. I'm gonna tell you something. Darren Waller is a top 5 tight end. He had a lot of personal issues, got his life right. He's on the Raiders playing well. He has 18 receptions, 150 yards, 1 TD. Jacobs is just a power runner. Carr is playing smarter. And they're going up against the New England team. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know, Belichick made his adjustments. He looked at Cam Newton's skill set, broke it down, and said, okay, how do I get Cam to fit into our system? A square peg in a round hole. And he's figured it out. You can run, but we're going to let Edelman go further down the field instead of running those little short routes he did with Brady. We're going to use your arm and use your legs a little more. And they've done that, and their offense is efficient. And this is the most efficient I've ever seen Cam. And they're home, and the Raiders have to travel. I like I want to pick the Raiders. I like the Patriots. I think the defense is going to get it together and do a decent job. Who does Belichick stop? Does he stop the run with Jacobs, or does he try to stop Waller? He's going to try to stop Waller. They're going to just set the edges to make sure that Jacobs don't hit the edge and make him run in between the tackles, and maybe do a little bend don't break defense. But I think New England will figure it out, and New England will win that game. Bills and Rams. This is the toughest game I had to break down. This is really tough for me. The Bills are hot. Stephon Diggs is a monster. You knew that when he was on the Vikings, and him going to the Bills was a godsend for the Bills. And, you know, Allen is balling. The Bills could win the division. The Bills Patriot game will decide the division. They're head and shoulders better than the other teams. Allen is got 727 yards already passing with 6 TDs and 0 interceptions. I think Singletary is going to be a big factor. Rams don't stop the run as well. They get after you in the pass. Aaron Donald is very difficult to block. They get after you. They're going to have to pressure Allen for Rams to win. You know, Stephon Diggs, he's got a TD and 16 receptions already. Cooper Kupp on the other side. Higbee is I realize how good a tight end Higbee is on the Rams. The Rams have a 3-headed monster. They have kind of the no-name running backs who are solid. Their running game predicates how good their offense is because of the fact that a lot of what Goff and McVay do, Goff at quarterback and McVay calling the plays, predicates off of their play action passing and is rolling out and how they get into rhythm. They're like Auburn in college. They're a rhythm team. And they have to get into a rhythm. And they've done that this year because they've been able to run the ball. Now McVay can kind of play. The Bills have to stop the run and make Goff uncomfortable. If they do that, they're going to win. I think the Bills squeak out that game. They're home. I'm picking all the home teams with the exception of Green Bay. Very, very close games. Now, the NBA. And you know I'm a Lakers fan. And I'll break down the Lakers game first before I get to the Heat. That game 4 was huge. It was Denver was down big. They come back in the third quarter, and Murray is starting to cook. He's throwing up impossible shots. Jamal Murray kind of reminds me of Isaiah Thomas a little bit, where he'll play good, but especially in the fourth quarter where he starts to get cooking. And he was getting cooking. I'm watching the game in my mind. I'm saying, they're going to beat LA tonight. Murray is going to be unstoppable. They had no answer for him. And not only did they now have an answer, when they came to the double team, he would throw the hockey assist. So he might throw the ball to Jeremy Grant, who would throw a bounce pass to a cutting Craig, who would lay the ball up for a dunk. So Denver had answers for that. The key, I think, what won the series for the Lakers, possibly, is that LeBron James switched over to Murray. And it discombobulated Murray because Murray's used to, okay, if Davis comes over to guard me, I can do this to him. If Caruso guards me, I can do this to him. LeBron had not guarded him the whole series. So LeBron guarded him and was physical because Murray's a physical, smaller guard. LeBron was able to move his feet and not foul. And Murray had to take tougher shots over a bigger athletic guy, and he wasn't ready for it. And it discombobulated Denver's offense and allowed LA to relax and make points because LA was tight. Just like in Game 3, they were tight and they lost. And LeBron, AD, everybody was tight, and they were ready to lose again. But once LeBron did that and he showed good leadership, his defense was better than his offense because he was tentative too until Jeremy Grant committed a couple stupid fouls up top to allow the Lakers to hit free throws. Very dumb fouls. LA was kind of in trouble with the shot clock going down, and LA was able to survive and win that game. And now they're going to go to a Game 5. I believe LeBron, because he wants to get to this final so bad and win it, they will not be denied. I believe they'll figure out a way to win Game 5. They know that Denver is going to come with everything. So they're going to have to withstand that and survive and try to advance to the finals. The Heat could not close Boston out. And I watched the game, and the Heat were winning all the way to the third quarter, but it was a shaky lead. And in my mind, I said, if Boston gets even, they're leaving. Boston got it. Once Boston got the lead, it was a wrap. And then they ended up it was a 41-25 third quarter, and then they outscored them in the fourth quarter. I love what Tatum did, 31 points and 10 rebounds and 6 assists. This whole playoffs, I thought Jaylen Brown's been the better player. Not by much, but Jaylen Brown's been the dude. He had 28 and 8 and 2. And then you get Walker 15, Diaz 15. Smart had 12. He had 8 assists. Marcus Smart is a great player that, as far as defensively, offensively takes so many crazy hero shots. You have to monitor how he's aggressive, which you like, but sometimes he gets out of control. Hayward had 10. He's doing better and better, and that's big for Boston. Because if Boston gets Game 6, boy, they're going to be caught. Boston has better talent than the Heat. But if I'm the Heat, I thought what the Heat did, mistake, they were 7 of 35 from 3. And they made a lot of mistakes as far as they had opportunities to take easy 2-point shots. But instead of the 2-point shots in the lane, they were kicking it out to 3-point. and kicking out the 3-point shooters who are missing shots. Take the 2. In game 6, take the 2-point shots. Because you start making the 2-point shots, you're in rhythm, and now you're going to make the 3-point shots. It was just 2 3-point shot happy, and they paid for it. I don't know if that's going to cost them the series or not, but they're going to have to just take the shots that's available to them. Iguodala did that, like driving the lane. He had a little bunny in the lane. 3-foot bunny, kick the shot. Nope. He kicked it out to Dragic, who would try to pass it to Butler. Butler takes a long 3 and would miss it. And Butler has to score more. He has to play better. He's got to be more selfish. Because Boston got guys that could D him up with Smart and Tatum and Brown. And Tyler Hero came back to earth after going crazy the other game. They're going to need Hero to get back to they need 15 out of Hero and 24, 27-ish range out of Butler. Now, the Major League Baseball, before I go, I like LA and Atlanta when it comes to the finals, when it comes to these 8. It's going to be an 8-team tournament. Home team has 3 games. There's a neutral site the rest of the way. I like and I go with the better team. I like the Dodgers and the Braves to play each other in the National League. I looked at my Cubbies, and I thought they were going to choke away the division because their magic number was low, and then they kept losing. But then they ended up winning yesterday. The Cardinals lost, so their magic number is 2. So they should win the division. The problem with the Cubs is if they ever match up against the Cardinals, they're not going to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals will knock out the Cubs in the first round. If the Cubs meet the Marlins, they got a chance to get out of the second round and lose to the Braves. But it's about matchups. You get a wrong matchup in a 3-game series, you lose 2, you're home. Like all the pressure in the world in the Dodgers. They play the Giants. I mean, if they play Giants would love nothing more than to ruin the Dodgers. And that would set the Dodgers back years. And the Giants would be responsible for. They would love that. So the Dodgers have to take care of business in the early round and then do what they have to do. Mookie, you got Mookie Betts. That's the difference maker. And that's going to be the difference, I think, all throughout. And their pitching is better. Seager's a better hitter. He was a big strikeout guy in the playoffs last year. He's more of a contact hitter. Bellinger's batting 7th. That tells you how good the Dodgers are. The American League, I can't make up my mind. The Yankees, I don't think the Yankees. I haven't liked the Yankees all year. I just don't think they got it. And this group, going forward, if they don't win, this group has to get more heart. This is not Jeter and those guys and A-Rod and those guys. They got to get more heart. They got to be healthier. This Yankee team, they're good enough to win all, but they got to show me something. Tampa and Minnesota seem like they're the best teams in America. American League's hard to decide. I got to watch the playoffs start before I can kind of gauge who the better teams are in the American League. Well, that's about it. Monday, I'll recap all the what goings on. And finally, the Charlo brothers, who I got to know, are fighting. I'm rooting for them. Charlo versus Rosario. The junior middleweight fight, that's going to be a really tough fight. I like the Charlo brothers to come out on their first pay-per-view card and end up winning.